Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Real Sports Scope on this 25th day of September. We got a great show with you for tonight. I got the Mad New Yorker backstage. He's on time today. Going to break down this week's biggest games. Going to do three college games. Gave the Mad New Yorker a lot of stuff to deal with, and he's here. So greatly appreciate that. Let's get his thoughts on Jackson Dart. How does he think this is going to play out for him and the New York Giants and whatnot? And of course, we got to get I got to get his take on, of course, um, Bruce Pearl retiring, sudden retirement there from University of Auburn. So great show with you for tonight. Cannot wait. Stand by. Let's take our first and only break. We'll hit the ground running here on the Real Sports Scope. We can get our commercial set up here. Hello, Sports Scope followers. The program has seen tremendous growth since going 5 days a week. I just wanted to thank everybody for your cash contributions and sharing the program with friends and families. Just a reminder, if you want to contribute to the program, go to the Cash App, the cash sign, and Sports Scope. There are other ways to contribute to the program listed at the bottom of the screen. If you want to advertise on the program, go to sports, that is sports with an S, another S, scope, SKOPE, at gmail.com, just like it's listed at the bottom of the screen. Thank you and enjoy the program. All righty then. Now I'll get my little screen set up here. Looks like a little okay. Looks like we're good now. And have it for the Mad New Yorker, everybody.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Hey, buddy, how you doing tonight, man?
How's it going, man?
It's good.
Playoff
Huge
time.
weekend, man. Huh?
Been playoffs coming soon, so everything's coming together. NBA's gonna start. Hockey starts in a few weeks. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Remind me next week to give me like your thoughts on how the playoffs are going to play out. Maybe we'll start the show with a brief your take on the MLB playoffs. Playoffs, yes, Jim Irsay. Playoff. Yeah. So just food for thought for next week. Maybe I'll send you a text about it, of course. But since you're here, you're the Mad New Yorker. What is your thoughts about Jackson Dart getting the starting nod this week?
I mean, my gut dropped when I heard that they was going to bench Russell Wilson because, I mean, he looks horrible, but I think he can only play what he has, right? You can only play what you got. If your coordinator's telling you to do something, you do what the coordinator's telling you to do. And you mentioned that the Giants are hard to watch, and they're not very
boring.
exciting.
Man, they're tough watch.
Very, very pedestrian. Now that they don't, even when they had Daniel Jones and Saquon, at least they had Saquon making like a few runs here and there because that's what he does, extending the plays. But they still had a basic, call sheet out there. They don't, they're just playing to get points enough to just play it out on defense. And they do need to change it up. They need to be with the times. I don't think just putting out a young quarterback is the answer.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's going to be a positive move from playing the Chargers of all teams, a team that's on the up, a team that has a couple guys coming back on defense, a team that's looking to just to stay up in the West and be the number one team with that mentality. So I don't see this. This is probably going to be a cleaner game for LA than Kansas City was. I just, man, I wish him the best but I'm in the school of thought on two things about Jackson Dart. I feel like he was a forced pick. Like he should have been picked in the later rounds. We talked about this before on the shows for the drafting that we had.
He's had a great preseason though, man.
Yeah, I mean,
very impressive camp overall, if you ask me.
You know what? Justin Fields had a very impressive preseason. It does like preseason doesn't count for anything except for the players going on the field and trying to get back into play mode mentally and physically. Like so I don't want to hear about preseason. Like I know who Jackson Dart is, that I know who the quarterback is, who they drafted. My thing is his potential high enough to be, let's go low level and be someone similar to what's the young quarterback out there? Who's this guy on like a Stroud? Is he gonna be a Stroud? Is he gonna be because you can't go, oh, like he's gonna be the next uh Rodgers. He doesn't,
Yeah.
he didn't display that
Well,
even in.
that's how Russell Wilson. A lot of people thought that maybe that was an exaggeration for his preseason, and sure enough, that wasn't the case.
Yeah, but Russell Wilson's case, and I'm not saying that, in his case, he had a defense that he can bank on, and he had an O line,
Yeah.
he had a running game. Dart doesn't have, maybe has a defense, no running game, no O line. So, and the coaching is not up to par that Seattle had at that moment. Anyways, Seattle
Yeah.
had a very good coaching squad there for when they went. So there's no comparison right now. Like they're putting him out there. And they're hoping that he's going to do something, be a catalyst. And I don't understand a catalyst for what. The fact that they're putting him out there and they want him to be a catalyst just goes to show how much the incompetence level of the coaching staff and the ownership is there, because they're just like, we're just going to see what we have. Like, if you were going to do that, you could have drafted him in the third round. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, there's too
and you
much
have
buzz about him, man. I mean,
it,
I
and
think
you,
they should at least wait to get Andrew Thomas back, and he's
right.
questionable. He might play, but I don't know if he's even close to 100%.
And if you didn't like Russell
You
Wilson,
know,
you still had the second quarterback there that has more experience and has a
Winston.
super and Winston, and has a Super Bowl win. Even though he didn't play that much for Tampa Bay, he still got the Super Bowl like there for, as a backup. So you got guys with
No, no,
experience.
he didn't play on that team, man. I think he went to the Saints after that. Actually,
No, he went to the Saints and then he was on the Bucks.
no, the Bucks they let him go, if I'm not mistaken, for Brady.
Wait, did Winston win a Super Bowl?
No, no, he
No,
was not on the roster.
no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Pickett. Pickett won the Super Bowl with the Eagles.
Oh
Anyways,
yeah, okay.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I had been googling
But
the 2020 Tampa Bay Buccaneers roster here, but
yeah, but I mean, at least this guy has something, and he's been in the league. He was an okay quarterback. He's gonna be an okay backup, but I just I'm not. I wasn't a fan of the Dable shown coming here. I wasn't a fan of them picking Dart. I don't. I feel like the Giants could have sold that pick and got more out of
yeah,
that pick as far as depth. And now they're lacking everything that they need. You can see that if they would have just not drafted that guy, they would have had a more opportunity to have pieces, and they don't have that now. Now they're going to
yeah,
depend on two rookies, a quarterback and a running back. Now the running back, he's a catalyst. He has a little bit of show. You get what you got from him. I don't
Scatterboo,
think
yeah,
I don't think anybody questions Scatterboo. I think it's just the fact of how can you use him in your offense, right? That's the question. And then and I don't know. As a fan, I'm like, well, they're gonna put this guy in the field, and as a
So you're saying it's a desperate attempt to save the job, general manager, coach.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's just disparity right now
same
because
here. That's my
it's,
opinion too.
I don't think they want to be drafted in the first round. So, but they're gonna end up there. So that's just the way I see it. And I've called it even before the season started. I said I don't think they're gonna win more than 6 games, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, that's true. They got to tighten that secondary up. It's nowhere near as good as I thought it would be. Hey, so Bruce Pearl
Oof.
abruptly retired, 65 years old. Man, that I brought that up because he goes back to when we was in college, taking
Right.
that job at Tennessee, putting Tennessee really on the map as a basketball school. Um, I didn't really like the timing of it, putting his son in there. I just not a fan of nepotism whatsoever. I think it looks bad. I've had Jenny Paul in this program before. She talked about she's very thankful that her dad, who was Gabe Paul, general manager of the Yankees at one time, did not help her with the nepotism and it helped her develop. but now his son is coaching the team. What's your thoughts on just the whole retirement in general, and the idea of the son taking over, kind of
Yeah,
putting him in a bind though, doing it at the last minute?
yeah. I think there were stories about him having some health issues in the past before after he
Oh,
came
really?
back
Okay.
from the suspension. There was talk about that. I didn't know where and to what point he was as far as his health was concerned.
Yeah.
He's a very energetic coach. He's tough on the kids. He's fun to watch. Also, he's got good energy. But look, there's a lot of guys that have done the whole son thing as a coach.
Yeah,
There's
Belichick.
well, I mean, in NCAA it happens a lot. You had the Bearcats. Cincinnati had their one of the guys who coached their son coach, and Georgetown did it with Thompson. The guy in Kentucky did it with his son. What's his
Who did?
name? In the University of Kentucky. Um, what's his name? Didn't Tubby Smith
Oh,
have?
yeah.
Didn't he have his son coaching on
I
the
don't. He might
sideline?
have been an assistant at Kentucky.
Yeah.
You're talking of not Calipari, but the
No.
the great coach there. The
Yeah.
coaches with St. John's, right? Patino's son.
Not Patino's son. Tubby Smith. Tubby.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Yeah.
he had a son there doing it too.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of these guys had coaches that sons going to coaching and things like that. So, I mean, the nepotism. I mean, no, that's hard to explain because some great coaches have sons that are good coaches, but don't are sometimes not as great as them. And that happens. And uh, so in basketball, sometimes it's more of X's and O's and who you have playing on the court. It doesn't matter who's coaching. Sometimes it's just a matter of getting those guys out there that got talent. And good luck to this guy. Good luck to Pearl's son and see what he could do. Like he's got an opportunity. The first thing he got to do is protect it and make sure he don't blow it. That's the only thing I feel.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be if you're gonna use nepotism and it's something that
Would you hire your son like that, or would you want him to come up the ranks the old-fashioned way and take small jobs and kind of work his way up?
there's a lot of there's too much. It all depends on the mindset and the character of the person that you have as a son, and what you're actually offering them. Like some people don't want to be behind that shadow. Some people want to create you know, their own work and
Legacy.
work. So and produce their own type of legacy, right? So, but I mean, look at two of the best quarterbacks that the NFL's had. They got their opportunity because of nepotism and Peyton Manning and
Yeah.
Eli Manning. So yeah, they put in the hard work themselves and they did their own thing in college. But you don't think that their stock
Yeah,
didn't
but
have any?
Archie didn't hire. He didn't coach the teams that they were on.
Yeah, he didn't coach them, but he had them make choices that helped their career for sure.
Well,
So
he steered Eli
the Chargers,
away
yeah,
from the Chargers. So
yeah.
you could say that.
Yeah, and then also with Peyton, and he didn't want to leave Indianapolis, but his son, he was like, hey, they don't want you, they're not gonna pay you, just move on, like. So listen, the nepotism thing, it just you either take advantage of it or you don't, and if you do, just make sure the person that you're leading to the charge is gonna be able to handle it, right? Because it doesn't matter who you hire. If you hire somebody, you got to make sure that they a reflection of what you did and an even better coach than what you did. If
Any
not,
other thoughts on his actual retirement, on his legacy? I kind of wish he would have hung in there and got a national championship out of it.
yeah, I
There's
don't.
some rumors that maybe he goes into politics, but maybe his
With,
heart's not into basketball like way it was.
well, with Bruce Pearl, the thing is that we all wanted is the fact that he was in the game. His teams never quit on him. He didn't quit
Right.
on his teams. It's bad that he got suspended, but you know, it's one of those things that he came close and he tried. It just didn't happen for him, and sometimes that happens.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I like the guys. I hope the best for him, and hopefully he don't have any health problems. But being a big guy, 60 plus, probably got to slim down a little bit and make sure and keep up with that health. Okay, let's recap last week, man.
Oh, what a terrible week!
Yeah. Well, I'm up 2 now, and
Nice.
but these were nail biting games. These were about what I thought they were going to be.
Yeah, they were close. It
Yeah.
was good too because it's not that we're battling each other, but it's some of these teams. The games that we're watching, right? Like you're like, oh my
The
God,
two
look
we
what's
had
happening.
different opinions on. I knew they were going to be close. I told you they would be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your thoughts about Arizona, San Francisco? Come down to just a handful of plays, about like we thought, huh?
Yeah, and then the whole, you know what I'm not, you know how I feel about the coach in San Francisco, but those guys out there with all that's going on, you're like you want to put them on rebuild stage, but the team's like, no, we're not rebuilding. Our guys are going to step up and play, and then guys stepped up and play. You had guys there that did their jobs, and
did they win that game or did Arizona lose that game?
I think it was the fact of the matter that they just came out a little bit more competitive than Arizona. So that I feel like that was what it was. Like Arizona just kind of ran out of gas. Again, it's the beginning of the season still, so these teams haven't built that stamina up yet. So we're gonna see some of this craziness for the next 2 or 3 more weeks, I think.
Yeah. I think Frisco's very fortunate to get that win. Good chemistry though between Mac Jones and Cal Shanahan's playbook. I mean, he did great. There's a chance Purdy could come back this week, but man, losing Nick Bosa like that. I mean, Frisco seems like they're just kind of sluggish a little bit, if you ask me. As a good win though. I mean, that was a gutty performance there. I mean, Mac Jones had a knee brace on towards the end of that game. And still made some big throws.
Yeah, what I liked about that was as they stayed as sluggish and as like slow that they looked, they were still competitive, right? They wasn't like we're sluggish.
And they didn't give up on any yards.
There you go. That's what it is. They didn't.
Yeah, they competed for every single yard there.
That's correct.
And it was a really good win, good game, even though it was very low scoring. Kyler Murray loves to play in San Francisco, and he just came up a little short there. Defense stepped up. They're going to have to make a move, though, Frisco, to get an edge rusher, whether with your Giants and maybe trade for Thibodeau or go after Myles Garrett with Cleveland. With Nick Bosa, tearing his ACL like that, you're going to need a high-caliber player like that if you want to win big in this league. And, of course, they still want a shot at the Super Bowl this year, So that's my take on that. Let's see. I'm just no particular order. What about Rams Philly? I told you I thought that game I thought it would go a little different than that. But Rams play some really good run defense. Philadelphia really caught a break there at the end, if you ask me.
Yeah, they did.
What's your thoughts about that?
Yeah, they finally stretched out the field a little bit, made a few more longer passes that helped them out towards the end, and
AJ Brown stepped up when they needed in the second half.
But they need to be careful. They can't. They're scoring more, an average of 27 plus, so that's good for the Eagles, and that's keeping them in the game as far as and competitive. So if they could keep it like that, they're going to be okay for the rest of the season. I think that's the goal. The money line is 27. Get to 27 points and just kind of hold out.
They scored 26 and lost 33-26.
Yeah. So, but for the Eagles, if they keep it there, they'll be all right. The Rams, I mean, I feel like the biggest problem the Rams had was their quarterback. He just seemed like he was getting roughed up a lot. He seemed like he didn't have it. Maybe he should have took that day off, but he's not a young buck anymore, and he needs to be careful. So,
yeah, he might fall apart towards the end, but they're playing pretty well right now. Really impressive game. That was a confidence builder for the Rams, if you ask me. They get another shot at the Eagles, and they're healthy. I think they'll beat the Eagles. The Eagles' offensive coordinator it's still not quite there yet. They've had 3 offensive coordinators in 3 years.
Right,
And
right.
first offensive coordinator after Steichen was horrible. That was the year they lost the first round into the Tampa, and they were going to fire Sirianni, but then they brought in Keelan Moore there, who's now the coach at the Saints there, and he did well. But this other guy, I think he was an in-house guy. I'm just not so sure about it. Although they did rebound and they got AJ Brown the ball, maybe that keeps AJ Brown on the roster. Instead of them moving him at the trade deadline, because
Well,
there's some undercurrents there.
yeah, and we talked about it about the Eagles even when they lost that year in the playoffs and didn't make it to the Super Bowl. Like we were just like that team needs to pick an identity. That team needs to
Yeah,
be tougher. That team needs to be more competitive. You can't just play on the field. You gotta you gotta put it all out there. And I think that's they're starting to get that getting rough around the edges and they need that. They need Saquon to be Saquon. And right now, if you're a fantasy league owner and you own Saquon, you're just kind of like you don't know what you're gonna get. And should you put him just
yeah, he
like
was
as
held to like 46 yards. I mean that's a very good job by the run defense.
yeah, very very good job. And then but the question is that a good job by the defense or is that just the offense not pushing more? Like usually they do a
We're gonna
decent
find
job.
out. You know,
But we'll see.
yeah, we'll find out about that. Very good game there. Let's see. Like I said, no particular order. How about Houston, Jacksonville? Um, Houston's 0-3. I told you I didn't think they was going to make the playoffs. I think you said you didn't think so either.
Right.
Too many offensive line issues. Stroud has taken a big step back. That's my issue when you have a defensive minded head coach. Things seem to go towards the defense as the longer that defensive minded head coach stays on that team, not unless it's a clear cut, what do you call it, chain of command with the general manager and staff and whatnot. I'm a little concerned about Stroud going forward, playing under Ryans. They change offensive coordinators. That being said, we both picked obviously Jacksonville to win that game, but I feel vindicated definitely that Houston's not going to make the playoffs this year. It just doesn't seem like it's right, not unless they do a major turnaround. What's your thoughts about that game, man?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to watch this team and them not progress because they had the pieces on the defense, they have a few pieces on the offense, and now and out once they had that running back issue, I was like, oh man, this is no bueno. They need to make they need a running back. I mean, like I feel
That's
like
right, because whatchamacallit, I knew Mixon was washed up. They probably should have went high and tried to draft one.
yeah, I mean that's the one thing that doesn't help them. They need a running game that's established. They need to make sure that they get um, somebody in there that can give them, a couple yards every time because you can't throw the ball if everybody's in the backfield with you. So I think that's one thing that they're gonna have to figure out and get back and give Stroud more weapons, more tools, so that he can utilize him. I mean, 10 points, man. Like, what the heck? What are you doing? Like,
Yeah,
this is almost like watching the Giants play offense. Like, you're not,
yeah,
like where are you? Why are you not getting points if you got all these athletic guys?
right. Well, they
You know,
probably get off the schneid about, they play a sloppy Tennessee team this week. Um, that could probably help their confidence playing this team, but we'll see.
it's crazy.
But okay, Denver. That was another tight game,
Mm.
man. Denver, LA Chargers. Denver up early. That's why I was reluctant to take the LA Chargers. But Bo Nix, another guy, I felt vindicated. He's kind of leveled out, and this
Jeez.
Denver team is not that good. Mark Schler, this is a great team, man. This can't. Colin Coward, this team is it. And I thought, no, I think they overachieved last year. I think Bo Nix is getting close to his ceiling. He might have a little bit of headroom to hit that ceiling, but he's pretty close. He's pretty close to hitting the top of that ceiling. Other side, man, what a great win there with another offensive lineman going out. But that Charger team, and of course, the running back is out for the year. Tore his Achilles in that. What's your guy's name that used to play with Pittsburgh? Running back. Najee. Yeah, and so they gave it to Hamilton. That was a gutsy win, though, man. That was a big carry. But I still get a sense that they're another team. They're like the 49ers. I feel like they're falling apart physically. I don't know if they're going to be able to maintain this. What's your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, I'm not big on the Chargers. I don't feel like they're deep enough on both sides of the ball. I thought that Bo Nix would go out there and get at least 27, 30 points and, to kind of throw the ball around, run around, do a little bit more damage, and he didn't. Credit to the Chargers defense and being more, staying more into and
they're fundamentally sound.
Yeah, very sound.
They really lack depth.
Yeah, and
star power other than Derwin James.
I didn't think that this guy Herbert would have enough in him to pull it off, and he ended up making some runs and making some throws, and they're good for him. And he needs to do those things. This guy,
it's expected of him. Yeah.
Yes, and the more and more he does it, fine, great. He put the team on his shoulder this week, and he did what he's supposed to do. But Chargers, I don't care who you have on your roster, you need to be making 30, 33 points a game with the people, with the quarterback you have and the offense and the tools that you have, with the coach that you have. You should be up 20, not getting more than 20 points until the latter part of the
23, 28. Sometimes it's tough when you're in division.
No, Robert, no. You built your team to be an offensive juggernaut, and you're not doing anything to match up with what you're coaching and what your team is. So that team, you said it. It's falling apart. It's not balanced.
Yeah, I feel like they're falling apart.
The best thing about that team is that they're playing the Giants, and if they don't score more than 30 points playing the Giants
could upset them. That we'll talk about that. We'll lead the program with that next Thursday.
I'll just be like, I'm gonna laugh because the Giants will actually.
With those offensive line injuries, your defensive line could get after Herbert. You never know.
This guy, I'm like I said, I'm glad he got the win because that's what he's supposed to do. But we should be watching better football from that team for sure.
All right. Well, this is the only game I got wrong, and you take Baltimore, they beat you. You bet against Baltimore, they beat you. What really surprised me about Baltimore, Detroit was the ability for Detroit to run the ball, 224 yards rushing, fundamental defense, fundamentally sound blocking up front, and. Again, when I was talking about the Nick Bosa injury, you could see Detroit's totally different team defensively, trying to chase a guy like a Lamar Jackson with the healthy Aiden Hutchinson and this Muhammad guy playing off of Hutchinson. Man, very impressive win to beat. I don't think there's an NFC team that's ever beat Lamar Jackson led Ravens team in Baltimore like that. He's had 2 losses, the Eagles and who was the other one? Actually, I think the Eagles beat them last year, but the Eagles are freaking super team last year, and of course your Giants, I think that was like the COVID year, but either way, it's a very impressive win by a dome team like that. Most impressive win maybe of Dan Campbell's career as far as regular season is concerned. I know he's won in the playoffs. What you thought about that game, man?
Yeah, I feel like the Lions fans and the Bills fans should just go on an island, play each other, and just stop. What's
wrong with the Ravens, then, man? You want to trash the winning team? What's wrong with?
Yeah, no. Let me get at it. Let me get at this because I feel like this was like a Super Bowl game. Like this was like. It was a tale of two cities. Like you understand that every quarter.
It was a very good game. I stayed up actually and watched that whole thing.
I feel like if there's the game of the year, it's this one because it was like a tale of two cities. In the beginning, you're seeing Baltimore going all out. They're running the ball. They got the flex going on with the tight ends making he's getting his yards and then they're spreading the ball out and then all of a sudden it just stops. They're not running the ball. They're not. They're all of a sudden Lamar's going back 3, 4, 7, 10 yards. Like, come on, like what's going on? It was look. I'm not a betting man, and I was frustrated. So the Detroit did well, and they made adjustments, and they did a good job doing that. The flip side is the better team did not make any adjustments and just got caught. They got caught playing Detroit's game. They got caught in a sense where I'm not sure if it's a coaching thing, but it's also a player thing. Like they were scoring, they were making points, and they were like maybe Lamar thought it would be too easy, right? So maybe he just didn't focus enough. But it's the first time I've seen Lamar not be an MVP type of quarterback. And when you're back there and you're the head of the snake, you're the head of the snake, and you're don't know what you're doing, indecisiveness.
Yeah.
But that just gonna ripple effect all throughout your whole team. So I don't feel like they made any adjustments. I don't feel like the coaches went back to Lamar. I don't feel like he opened himself to not think about being criticized, to not just go out there and play football. Like they just had a bad third and fourth quarter, and Detroit had a better third and fourth quarter, and they went out to finish the game. Detroit went out there to finish the game. They haven't finished many games well in the past 2 years, but but that's another story. But kudos to Detroit. They did what they had to do. They went out there. They scored more than 27 points. They got their win. Baltimore, but wake up. Like, you the toughest. They had some tough hits too. If you watch the first half, they was hitting Detroit hard. I don't know what the adjustments the Lions made all the difference.
Yeah, that's true. And I really do think now the Lions are in the Super. They're back in the Super Bowl. I thought they would adjust because I knew they had players as the season went along. But now was at week 3, they adjusted quicker than I thought they would adjust. So I'm okay with the new coordinators that they have on offense and defense. And this is a better team than last year because they're healthy now. Knock on wood, they're healthy on defense this year. They had a lot of defensive injuries last year.
Yeah, and the Hutchinson-Mohamed duo in the second half.
That's a pretty good duo.
And the second half of the game was ridiculous because even a running back like that, where was he?
Gibbs.
Like what happened? Like
Henry.
Yeah, where was and the fact is now the first time they stopped him, fine. The second time they stopped Lamar running, fine. But then they just quit running. And when they quit running, the defense, it gave Mohamed and Hutchinson more time to go through the A gaps and just plow through them because there was nothing coming forward. Right? So it just there was no, you just saw like Lamar Jackson he looked like a Jets quarterback. He looked like a Giants quarterback, just sitting there aimlessly trying to come up with something, going sideways and backwards. Like it was bad.
The Derrick Henry fumble didn't help. So
I mean,
and that's his third fumble this year, and he's trying to do too much out there. I think somebody needs to pull him aside and say, "Hey, man, just get the short yardage. Live to fight another down, but you're killing us with these fumbles right now." And he knows it.
I want to say something that they need to say is that it doesn't matter if he fumbles the ball 10 times a game. Give him the ball. It don't matter if he's the man. If he could crush the secondary of every team.
No, he fumbles 10 times a game. You'll lose every game doing that.
No. I mean, he's not. My thing is this: he's not going to fumble more than 3 times a game. He's not. He's just fumbled 3 times in 3 different games. But what I'm saying is that shouldn't be the downfall, and it shouldn't be that we got to adjust and not give him the ball. That's just ridiculous. That's no.
He's got to change he's got to change that upright carrying
No,
He's
I mean
trying to do too much because they're in shootouts,
that's the
and
problem.
he knows that. He knows that.
Yeah, but
He's a
I don't.
very tall running back. You're going to run the ball high. People can jump at you, and
Yeah, but again,
yeah.
the Ravens shouldn't be. It shouldn't be like, oh, because he fumbled the ball, we can't win. It should be like, oh, he fumbled the ball. Okay, we'll just keep smashing it in the mouth and throwing the ball to
Well,
whoever's
you want to keep
available.
running it. He's just going to have to. He's going to
But
have to protect
how
that
many?
ball better. But the flip
Yeah,
side is he can't get those big giant runs, 50-yard runs, because he's got to carry the ball like this rather than like that. You know what I'm saying? High and
yeah,
tight.
but Robert,
You know what I'm saying? And that's
even
what I tell him.
yeah,
He's
but
cost him 2 games, man.
but the problem is the reason they cost him those games. They were in monumental times of the game where once that he fumbled it, the team was like, we can't run the ball no more. Where it shouldn't have been like that. Had the team just turned around and been like, well, you know what? We're gonna give it back to you, Henry, and you're gonna smash the next 5 linebackers
I
and
think
secondary.
he got the ball after that.
You know, but like it
But he
shouldn't be like,
knows that
oh
he'll fix it, man. He
no,
just I think
it's
they'll
just
fix it. I don't think
such a
they're over. You
no.
know,
It's not over. It's just the Ravens shouldn't be demoralized if if Lamar Jackson runs sideways and loses 2 yards. It's the same way they shouldn't be demoralized if Derrick Henry just loses the ball one time. Like he's not fumbling the ball like every single time he
yeah.
carries it. That's to me.
Oh.
To me, that's what the mentality is needs to change. It's like
Well,
yo,
the
just
biggest story was them giving up 224 yards. Right?
yeah, the
That's
defense, right? Yeah, yeah.
yeah. That's I think that's the biggest story of that game. Man, any thoughts on Auburn, Oklahoma? You know that Mayer guy, the Mater, whatever the heck his name is, Mater, I think it's his name, the quarterback for Oklahoma. I mean, he's right on that Heisman path, and then he gets hurt in that game. But they played the way we thought they would. Great game though. What's your thoughts on that, real quick, before we get to the other games? Don't get too far behind.
It's fun. It was fun game. I I'm like I'm watching them and I'm like, oh my god, this I liked it because you know what? Again, we say this all the time. The game isn't played on paper,
No.
and it was good to see these kids go out there and compete, man. And it's college football, man. This you sometimes you got to expect unexpected. You know what I'm saying? So it was good to see that. To be honest, even if I don't, even
he'll
if my
come
pick,
back though.
yeah, even if
He's
my
gonna be
pick don't
out a
come
few
true.
weeks, man, and it's unfortunate for the young man.
Yeah,
Has
but
a great game like that.
yeah, I mean that was the only thing that I disliked was the fact that he went out there, he put it all on the field and then he just gets injured like that. But again,
Yeah.
it's a good game. It was a good game.
Yeah, let's talk with the. We got a lot to get to in about 20-something minutes. Hey, it's a big weekend, man. It's a big
Huge.
weekend. I guess we'll start off in the NFL. Well, let's see. We'll start off on the West Coast here. I'll open this. These are the top 5 games of this week, folks. I see we got a good crowd tonight. I think a lot of the fans like this, predicting the top 5 biggest games. And of course, we'll do 3 college games. We got some big college games. I could have went more with the college. I didn't want to wear you out. But anyways, Colts, Rams. Colts are in first place right now. Daniel Jones dropping dimes. But let me mind you, folks, they beat Tennessee, they beat Denver, and they beat Miami with the combined record of 1-8. Hey man, I'd rather be lucky than good any day, right?
Yeah, a lot of people keep bringing this stuff up because of what's going on in New York. And look, if you got a running game like Taylor, you got someone like Taylor on your team, you got
good offensive line too, and a good running back.
Right. So right now he's got 60 carries, about close to 400 yards. He's only got 3 TDs, but it's not the TDs that he's not scoring. It's the amount of yards that he's racking up. And look, like you relieve a person like Daniel Jones and allow him to also, if he needs to run, he can run as well. Or if he could throw the ball, he'll throw it. But like right now, Daniel Jones is in a good position. He's taking advantage of his position, and but I would not, as far as I've seen Daniel Jones, I wouldn't bet the house on this guy.
Right. Well, they're playing the Rams this week. The Rams are second in total yards. all that being said, I just went over the Colts. Excuse me, second total yards. The Colts, that run defense and Colts is very good. Or for the Rams, excuse me. The run defense for the Rams is very good. That's going to hold Taylor in check. Let me pick this game real quick, and I'll let you pick it. Devontae Adams is pretty banged up. He's limited. I'm a little concerned about that, but this game is played in L.A. I do think the Rams get back in the winning column this week. 31-19. Danny Dimes drops a few dimes on the ground here. Maybe a fumble or two. Maybe he has a Derrick Henry type of day. 31-19 Rams win. Who do you like? Rams Colts. This is technically a big game.
Yeah, no, it's a huge game for both teams.
Yes.
Who are on the up, and one is better on the defense, and one is better on the offense right now.
Yeah.
They'll cancel each other out. I feel like this game is going to be a little bit under 50 points. Okay. I think it's going to be 27-21 Rams win.
You do like the Rams too. Hey, you never know. The Colts may beat them. They're pretty good on the inside.
You never know.
Yeah, staying on the West Coast, Jacksonville at San Francisco. I just mentioned. By the way, Brock Purdy, everybody, there's a chance he could play this week. So Mac Jones, mac and cheese, with his brace on his knee, he got his good cleanup duty there. Got 2 wins there, but there's a very good chance, according to Rappaport, that Brock Purdy comes back and plays. But this team is still pretty banged up. Nick Bosa, I mentioned, he's out for the year, torn ACL. Juwan Jennings still probably won't play, my guess. That's receiver there. Although Ricky Pearsall's playing good, played him on fantasy, had about 20-something fantasy points. Second-year player out of Florida. Jacksonville got the win last week, like we said. They seem like the fresher, healthier team. I actually think the road team comes up and gets an upset here. Frisco's 3.5-point favorites. I think Jaguars, with their shaky defense, gets the win. Even if Purdy comes back and he's only about 60-70%. Jacksonville 27-24. They get the win on the West Coast at Frisco. This could be a bad move by me, but I just get a sense they're a little bit more fresh than the 49ers. A little healthier in my case, in my opinion.
Yeah,
a lot healthier. Excuse me.
No. I think Mr. Sunshine over there, Mr. Trevor Lawrence.
He is the ultimate Mr. Sunshine, baby.
He
Trevor Lawrence, everybody.
if he keeps a clean sheet, no interceptions in this game, knock on wood. I like Edna. He's starting to get rolling with this, starting this running game going a little bit. I think those two, if they can have clean games, they do their job. They score 27 points. I don't think San Francisco can play catch up and what they're missing in offense and what they're missing on defense, and there's no balance there. They're going to struggle scoring points, and I think the Jaguars will come out with the win this one as well.
You like Jacksonville too? Okay.
Yeah, I like them, and I think it's going to be 27-21.
Okay, I said 27-24. I use your favorite score. You're saying 27-21. It's going to be a good game. I can't wait to watch it. Every time I bring these games up, they're good games. They're airtight, and it makes you think for a second. Makes you think. And they turned out to be that good as well. Okay. I almost forgot. Dublin, Ireland. 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, Sunday morning, which I hate these games, personally. Nothing against Dublin. I've had a lot of good Irish people in Uber from Dublin. They've been really nice, and some of them actually tip. But my thing is, Minnesota still got Carson Wentz. People talking about Carson Wentz. I thought, well, he had a bunch of easy passes. The Minnesota defense feasted on Cincinnati coming off that loss. Really played well. That being said, I like the veteran team on the road here, this Pittsburgh Steelers team. I think they tighten that defense up. I don't know who can run the ball on Minnesota. I think Aaron Rodgers has some experience going against Flores' defense here. This ain't going to be a fun game. How many Steelers games are? But I like the Steelers to get the win over there in Europe, 24-21. I like the Steelers, but I don't love the Steelers. Steelers are underdogs. They're 2.5-point underdogs. Tomlin will play that up in the locker room.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think they're going to go to Ireland, and they're going to be on the outside. So the Vikings already.
You love Minnesota, dude.
I like Minnesota, but and this game being outside, being in across the pond and in a different country, like I just feel like they all of a sudden everything that's positive about Minnesota kind of just is unbalances them. I think them being outside in this weather
that does help, don't it? That helps Pittsburgh. Yeah,
this is going to be like Pennsylvania weather, so Pittsburgh going to feel right at home.
Right.
They're going to have the Irish car bombs and everything, so they'll be all right. I think Pittsburgh's going to come out. I think Aaron Rodgers is probably this is going to be the first game that he doesn't throw an interception. They're going to run the ball.
Flores, you never know. He could throw a pick six there.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to run it more. I think they're just going. It's going to be a close game. I'm with you. I think they're going to be in he's going to score like 24 points, and like Minnesota, I feel like they're going to give up more points. So I feel like it's going to be 24-20, something like that.
24-20 Steelers?
Yes. Yeah, okay. Steelers. Yeah.
All right. Steel Birds. Okay. Let's talk about we got two more games. I'm sorry. In the NFL. Baltimore, Kansas City. Baltimore, we're playing it. Check this out, folks. The Ravens are favored against the Chiefs. Ravens with their injuries on the defensive line and coming off a short week, playing on Monday night, going on the road, and the Chiefs will have Xavier Worthy back in this game. I think the Chiefs looked pretty good last week, all things considered. I know it was against your Giants and everything. I think sometimes people tend to overreact against the Chiefs. Maybe the Ravens come out and play like a house of fire and beat up on the Chiefs. Maybe the Vegas is right. But, man, I like the Chiefs here, 27-20 at home. There's no weather issue. I scratch my head at this. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think one of these teams is going to go 1-3. And I think that team's going to be Baltimore, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, I don't know. I never really.
The deeper team, the better team right now is Baltimore. I'm going with them at Arrowhead. Henry's going to have 100+ yards. Lamar's going to have 30+ yards. They're going to score. I hope they score up to 30 points. And I don't think the Chiefs will score enough points to stay in line. And the Baltimore just has to score enough points to not make this a kicking game. If they make this a kicking game, Kansas City will be with them, and it's going to be a close game. You might see 27-24. I don't want to see that score. I do see the Ravens going up and coming back and making up for what they did with the Lions. And this is a get back game. They're going to get back into it, and they got to focus on the running game, focus on the defense, and what a better place to do it than against Pat Mahomes and showing people that hey, they are a playoff team and they should be Super Bowl bound. So
this will get their swagger back if they can beat Kansas City.
Definitely.
That would definitely get the swag back. I disagree. I think Kansas City will win, but hey, who knows?
30-24. 30-24. Let's do this.
Okay, you're 30-24 Baltimore. I'm 27-20 Kansas City. Oh, yeah. Let me go to your favorite team. This is a really big game here. I think it's one of the primetime games, if I'm not mistaken. Philadelphia at Tampa. Tampa Bay is playing great, man. Although they keep having injuries. I mean, man, you hated to see a team. I tell you what, though, it kind of reminded me of that year that the Packers kept having injury after injury after injury, but they still kept winning. It was 2010. They went on to win the Super Bowl that year, if you don't recall. The next year, they went like 15-1 in regular season because they got all those players back. And, of course, your Giants end up upsetting them in the playoffs. But Mike Evans, there's a chance they have Tristan Wirfs back this week, who got surgery in July. Chris Godwin will be back for your Bucks too, but Mike Evans is going to be out. He's got another hamstring injury. Go figure. He's doubtful. They have some interior offensive line injuries. Tampa does. It's unfortunate, but this game is played at Tampa. It'll be a highly contested game. I mentioned the fact that the Eagles' offense is not quite up to par, but those injuries and that shakiness on that offensive line, I think that's where this thing will be won and lost. I reluctantly take the Eagles 27-23 to go 4-0. No weather issues down in Tampa, but this game could go the other way, even with the issues that Tampa has because of the offensive, or lack thereof, production from the Eagles. What do you think about this game? Going to be a good one.
Oh, it's going to be good. Good old Baker Mayfield showing why he was a number one draft pick. Didn't matter his size. Don't matter what he says, and he just goes out there and he's competitive. You see it. He does carry the team on his shoulder. He goes and He tries to prove that he is the number one choice. It's tough not to see that. It's tough for him not to be like that. And you don't keep this game close at all. I don't see the Eagles. I see this being a running game. I don't think they're going to throw much against this defense that he's got. The coach plays a good tight defense. You're going to see the
Todd Bowles.
Yeah, Todd Bowles' defense is going to be tight on the wide receivers. So you're going to see a running game by the Eagles. They're going to try to establish Saquon. They got to get him more yards. They got to give him touchdowns. They're going to do that Philadelphia brother push, and they're going to try whatever they can to score. And I don't think it's going to be enough. I see this game going, 27-24, and they're going to come out with this win there at Tampa. That's how I see it.
Who wins?
Tampa wins 27-24.
27-24. Bucks, I've got 27-23. Eagles, the way Al Michaels would say. Okay, let's go to the college game. LSU. Ole Miss is actually favored against LSU at home. Slightly, but they're on a backup quarterback. He's played pretty well. This guy's name is Trinidad Chambliss. Austin Simmons is healthy, but he's not 100%. Listen, man, LSU's defense is pretty legit. Is it perfect like it used to be back in the day? No, but it's improved enough. I know Clemson has shown to be a little bit of a fraud this year. That being said, I don't know. I like Nussmeier over this guy. This game is always really tight. I will say this: the home team has won each time. Maybe that's what Vegas is looking at, because it is up in Oxford, Mississippi, or whatever. Right. I still think LSU will come up with it. 31-27. This is going to be a great game come Saturday, man, at 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central. LSU stays undefeated and stays in the top 5. They beat Ole Miss, but this game is played in Ole Miss. Crazy things happen on the road in the SEC. What do you think about that game?
Yeah, I think it's going to be close. I think 30-27. I think that.
Oh, we picked the same score, huh?
Yeah, I'm on 30,
that. We picked 30. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm 30-27. I feel like LSU is going to, they're going to stay hungry. They're going to keep it. The thing is with Ole Miss is they got good players there, but they don't have I don't think they're deep enough. And I just, I don't know if they'll be able to score enough points where LSU
you picking LSU?
Yeah, I think the LSU. Okay. Yeah, I think the LSU will come in and they'll score enough points to win this game, because I feel like they're deeper than Ole Miss. Even though Ole Miss they got a good squad and they play tough at home, but it's hard for me to pick against LSU at this moment.
Yeah, same here, man. Alabama, Georgia. Alabama looks like they got it together against Wisconsin. That was Wisconsin per se. Georgia's coming off a bye week. They beat Tennessee 2 weeks ago. So was Alabama. Now, I will say this. Kirby Smart is 1-6 against Alabama. He's 0-1 against Keelan DeBoer. Maybe that don't mean anything about nothing. But I will say this Ty Simpson guy has quietly had a pretty good year. 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Connor Stockton, only 4 touchdowns, 0 picks. if this is a shootout, Alabama could upset them again and beat them in Georgia. I don't think I can trust Keelan Moore with anything right now. This guy's not Nick Saban. I like Georgia to get the home win, 33-27. There'll be a lot of big plays in this game. I like Georgia at home, but hey, it could go the other way. What's your thought about that game, man?
Yeah, I like the 30+ points. I'll take that. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think the both teams are going to run crazy and throw the ball as well. They'll run both of them, and they'll try to mirror each other for the first half, and then they'll get serious in the second half. That defense Georgia has though over Alabama, they're going to score at least 1 point themselves. So,
You like Georgia at home too?
I like Georgia at home, and I think they're going to stay in the top 5.
Okay. What's the score?
The 30-27.
Okay. I picked 33-27. You picked 30-27. Last but not least, and definitely not least, man, Oregon, Penn State. Listen, man, this guy, what's his name, man? This quarterback here, Dante Moore, 11 touchdowns, 1 interception for Oregon. Oregon did beat Penn State last year at a neutral site game in the Big Ten Championship, 45-37. But that was different players. You had Bo Nix, of course, there, Drew Aller. They did put up 37 points with Penn State. Now, let me mention this, folks. Penn State is at home. Penn State played a cake schedule so far. They are off a bye week. Oregon played Oregon State last week. Oregon's got to go all the way to Penn State. I do think this guy, Katron Allen, could have a field day against Oregon, about like Ashton Jeffrey did last year for Boise State. And I want to note that Penn State has a new defensive coordinator, Jim Knowles, formerly of Ohio State, who mocked Oregon in the road game, in the neutral site game, and they played airtight up in Eugene. If this game were in Eugene, I would have a different opinion of it. But right now, there's a lot of pressure on James Franklin to really come up and win these big games. He does every now and then, but not as much as the Penn State fans want him to do so. I'm saying 30-26, Penn State runs well. They get the win, and they stay in the top 5. Maybe they go to 1 or 2 after this. What's your thoughts about Penn State, Oregon? Big game coming up Saturday night.
Yeah, it's a huge game. The weather's still nice for this game, so both teams are gonna take advantage of that. The weather being nice, they're gonna air out the ball. So they're both. This is gonna be a high scoring game. I'm looking at maybe 33-27. I think Oregon's gonna find a way to just get a little bit over and maybe get a field goal over Penn State.
So you're liking Oregon to get the road win?
Yeah, and I think both teams are going to run, but if both teams are going to run and go at it, Oregon is the better team that can score faster, right? So,
if this Dante Moore he might light Penn State up.
Yeah. So I
don't know. He's very talented.
I like Penn State. They're very methodical. Their defense is good, but this team at Oregon, they're fast and they just keep getting every year. They keep getting faster and faster. These kids, I don't know where they're getting them at. But I don't know if it's the shoes. It's the shoes.
I know, right?
They're flying all over the place, and you're gonna see a quack attack. And I feel like if this was played in November or in December, it would have been different. But it's not. It's played here and in the first week of fall, and the weather's just too good for both these teams to not be affected.
Yeah, I think it'll be a high scoring game. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. This is gonna be a good game. Everybody, get your popcorn out and root for who you want to root for, but it's gonna be good.
Yeah, so I'm up 2. But we disagree on 3 out of these 8 games. That game, Philadelphia, Tampa, which you may be right about that one, and of course Baltimore. You're a big Baltimore guy. Kansas City. So we'll see how that thing plays out. Do you got anything else you need to plug?
Yeah, man, look, getting ready for this baseball
you hyped, ain't you?
Playoff, and it's getting crazy for New York because the Mets are in the run, the Yankees are in the run. The Mets could lose their playoff position. The Yankees are gaining playoff position. It's crazy right now. It's about three after tonight. It's 3 more games. I just wanted to pass to see where the standings are, and I just want to get over it. So like, we'll see what happens. And
yeah, give me an update next week, man.
it's October, man. It's October. So
I love October. It's the greatest time ever. And by the way, folks, tomorrow I'll be at Blackman High School in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. My friend of mine, Gloria, her son plays for Oakland High School in Murfreesboro, both undefeated. Blackman's got some good players. She thinks they can beat Blackman. I think they can play with Blackman. I don't know. They're both pretty good. Blackman, Juwan Jennings went to Blackman. Who plays?
Yeah, they got a good rivalry going down there in the borough. And,
it's a big rival game tomorrow. So if something happens to me, I got caught up in the midst of some melee. Hopefully nothing will happen. But
Friday Night Lights, son.
I'm too old to get caught up in riots and melees.
Yeah, don't get lit up. Don't get lit up.
So I'll be doing that Friday night, and then Saturday we got all this college games, and then Sunday those big NFL games. This is a wild weekend. I cannot wait, man. And then of course, like you said, I think Tuesday the MLB playoffs start, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, playoffs. All right, man. Mad New Yorker coming in strong tonight. If I can get the freaking hype horn here. Always got my draft horn mixed up. Hey, man, big college, pro, and high school football. Mets and Yankees in the playoffs. Huh? Oh, is it? They're close to being in the. They're not. They haven't clinched.
No, the Mets have not clinched yet. The Yankees are biting for first place in the NL East. I mean, the AL East.
Oh, okay. AL East. All right. Mad New York, everybody. Appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody. I'll see you next week here on The Real Sports.